What's up, everyone? I am Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, and I share the Bible. That's business inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. First, I want to say it may be several days after January 1st, but Happy New Year, okay? For those of you who are new to the channel, I want to thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. And I want to say I really appreciate each and every one of you who are already subscribed to my channel. And 2023, it was an amazing year, but it also was a year of challenges. I can definitely speak for myself. And I know that I've spoken to a number of other people that have been through a lot in 2023, a lot, okay? But we're still here, we're still standing, and that means that there is hope for today and for tomorrow. So don't give in and don't give up. But I wanted to talk about something with you guys that I saw a couple of months ago, and I know we're in a new year, but you know, the whole saying, new year, new you, new me, whatever. But I feel like it's the perfect timing to really get off to a good start. And one of the ways you can get off to a good start is to address some things that have been issues in the past. And it may not have been issues for you, but they definitely have been issues for a lot of people. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, just to let you know a little bit about me, first you can go to the description box. I have the links to my websites so that you can find out more about me. But I am a business owner, beauty business owner to be more specific. I've been since 2008, but I've been in entrepreneurship since 2006. That's when I started getting into it in wellness, and now I'm in the wellness and beauty industry as a licensed esthetician. I also have a skincare line, which is amazing. You can go to the website. The link is in the description box as well. And I am truly grateful to say that after all of these years, I am still here. I have not been without challenges. I know there are some people that claim that they're always winning, but trust and believe that's just not true, okay? But even in the losses, we have lessons, and I've always lived by that. So, you know, with that being said, I wanted to talk about this subject because I saw this a couple of months ago, and I just didn't really get a chance to sit down and talk about it and address it. So I wanted to talk about it with you guys here. And there was this article that came out that was discussing a lot of people who are in the beauty industry, and they were saying that it was actually also a lot of Black or African American women who were in entrepreneurship that were leaving it, not either completely or just part-time, so they could go to work a 9-to-5 job because they were not able to sustain. And I got sad when I heard about that, but I can't say that it was something that totally shocked me. And not just because of the people, but also because of the times that we're in. We have definitely been going through a lot, especially since 2020 and the C word hit the world. And a lot of things have changed for people almost immediately. Some people not long after, and then for some, a few years after, because things just never were the same. But times are always changing, and we always have to try to cope as well as change with the changes, if you will. So with that being said, I wanted to talk about why I believe some people have left the beauty industry, have left their entrepreneurship dreams full-time to go and work a full-time job. And I don't have all of the answers, but I wanted to talk about this because this is something that I can relate to. Not so much of leaving the beauty industry to go to work a 9-to-5 job. Not to say that it wasn't a thought that ever crossed my mind in the years when I was starting up and I was getting things going, because I was so used to having that 9-to-5 job. I came from the legal field, and I've talked about this a good bit on my channel. So if you're new to the channel, you can go to look at some of those videos that I've already done. But I've talked about how I was in the legal field. I was a legal assistant for 12 years, and I left the legal field having the comfort of having a 9-to-5, if you will, job, that I knew what I was doing and I knew what I was going to be making every week or bi-weekly, even if it wasn't what I absolutely wanted to do with my life. But I left that to pursue my desires of not just being an entrepreneur, but working in the industry that I desired to work in. Because truth be told, I didn't leave the legal field to become an entrepreneur. I left the legal field to work in the industry that I desired to work in. And God just had other things for me because I went through a number of different things, and God just put me in the place. I believe God put me in the place to be a business owner and start my own business. And from there, over the years, I have been able to work with other people and hire other people, give other people opportunities. And I wouldn't say give, but worked with other people who were looking for opportunities. And, some opportunities were opportunities for us all. And then some things just didn't work out. I've had multiple locations. I've pivoted. I've downsized, but I'm still in business and I'm still doing well. So I wanted to talk about this because, again, like I said, none of us are immune from going through things in business. But if you have your head on straight and you know exactly what you want, and you know that it takes faith plus works, because faith without works is dead. If you realize that, then you can make it. But if you don't, then you may just have to adjust and go back to working a 9-to-5, even if it is not for a long time. Okay, so I want to say this. I don't want to make this about ethnicity, but the article did say that a large majority of the people that were leaving entrepreneurship to go back to 9-to-5s were African American women. And so I want to speak to that, but I don't want this to be just about African American women, because it's not just African American women that have made the decision to leave or to step back from their entrepreneurship full time to go to a 9-to-5 job. But the article did say that it was a majority of the people that were doing that were African American women. So again, this is not about race, so I don't want anyone to feel like I'm targeting a specific ethnicity of a person. It just is what it is. So I believe one of the reasons that women mainly have been leaving their entrepreneurship desires to go back to a 9-to-5 job is because they're just not business oriented. Knowing how to do great beauty services, for example, if you may be a cosmetologist, if someone may be a cosmetologist, or they may do amazing nails, just to let you know, I am a licensed esthetician, so I specialize in skincare, brows, and lashes. I'm a master lash artist. You may be able to do amazing services, but it doesn't mean that you are cut out for being a business owner right now. That's not to say that you may not be able to operate a business or do what some people have done, which is maybe rent a studio, get on these apps so that you can get people scheduled and you can provide the services. But business ownership, it has costs that are involved that a lot of people just don't count up the costs. Like the Bible says, count up the costs. And some of them, they really go into it so gung-ho because they know what they're doing when it comes to doing the amazing services that they do, that they know that they can provide a beautiful, hair service or a beautiful nail service for a client, but they just may not know how to operate a business. And unfortunately, especially in the beauty industry, a lot of people are targeted because, let's just be clear, the beauty industry, it starts out with marketing, but a lot of people who are in the beauty industry, they don't really know how to market themselves. So let's just use this for an example. Beauty schools, cosmetology schools, they promote, they market to get people to come in to go to school so that they can get the education that is required in order to become licensed. And every state has different rules when it comes to licensure. But with that being said, a lot of the cosmetology schools, they are promoting you can be your own boss, make your own hours, make as much money as you want to make. And although those things may be true, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do that just because you went to school to become a licensed cosmetologist. Not everyone that does great hair should be operating their own business, and not everyone that does great hair, even if you may be someone that could operate a business, is cut out to do it right now. But making that investment into going to cosmetology school, there are other investments that you need to make in order for you to really be a legitimate and prosperous and successful business owner. And some people, they're just not really customer and client oriented. They may be able to provide a good service when it comes to getting their hair done, but they're just not really customer service oriented, and they don't really know how to treat people. That's alone a big thing. And if you're starting out and it's just you and you're doing everything from providing the service, scheduling the clients, taking the payments, following up with people, like a lot of them don't do that. I'll give you an example. A couple of years ago, I got my hair braided, and I hadn't gotten my hair braided in years. Actually, it was something that I said I was never going to do again because I don't like taking my own hair out. And when I used to get my hair braided years ago, I was always used to that process of taking my own braids out, and it would literally take me all day, and I hated that. And the last time I did it, which was a long time ago, I said I'm never getting my hair braided ever again. But I just felt like getting my hair braided, so I went on this app called Style Seat. And I found a stylist to be able to do the braids that I wanted to get done. So I went to this salon. It was my first time ever going there. And these people, they didn't know me. Again, I'm not someone that tries to put myself on a pedestal or make it seem like I know more than other people because I own a business and I've been doing this for so many years. But when I came in, no one greeted me. I came in and I sat down and I waited. And the person that I guess I was there to see, she was still working with someone, but she never greeted me. She never said anything to me to just let me know that she was acknowledging my presence. And it wasn't like they had anyone there that was doing that type of work. So I don't think it would have taken more than a moment for her to just step away from her client. Or, hey, I'm not looking for perfection. She could have just made it known by making, an announcement to me. Not saying I was expecting her to yell in her client's ear or be unprofessional in that way, but just to let me know that I see you, I know you're here, I'll be with you shortly, because I scheduled my appointment for a time and I got there before my appointment time, and I want to say it was probably 15 minutes that I was still sitting there and no one said anything to me, but I just stayed there and waited because I was ready to get my hair done and I wanted to do it. So I chose to wait. But there are some people that are not going to be happy with that, and they just may choose to get up and leave. So I'm using that as an example to say that some people don't really know how to treat people, and the people are going to be the ones that are going to keep you going, because you have to recognize that these clients and customers that you're working with, they're the ones that are paying for the services that are going to keep you in business. So myself being the owner of a business and starting out individually, before I ever had one employee, it was me doing everything, and I was there and available for the clients when they needed me. So if I had someone that needed to come in early in the morning, and then on that same day I didn't have anybody else until later in that afternoon, I did that. But there are some people that are not going to be happy with that, and they are going to either reject the appointment or try to get that person to come in when it's convenient for them. But the thing about that is, going to the next thing, the client and the customer really is your boss. Really. That saying the customer is always right, in essence, it's true, even if they may be wrong, and there is a way to handle people. So I'm not saying that you want to deal with a client or a customer that's being rude and nasty and they're demanding, and then you just feel like you have to take that abuse because the customer is always right. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I mean by that is the fact that you being this person that is the owner of your company, of your business, being the entrepreneur, you're going to be working with so many different people that you're going to have a multitude, if you want to look at it that way, this is how I've looked at it, of bosses. So I've told people this over the years when they say, oh, it must be great to work for yourself. And I'm like, well, I don't work for myself. I work for the clients. And when I started hiring people and working, to work in my company, to work in my business, I always let them know, we are here for the clients. You don't work for me. We work for the clients. So it's never about you. It's always about them. I don't care if you have your picture all around your business location, letting people know I am the owner. Okay. And I say that in a way to try to make fun of it, because in my business, there are pictures of me, but I'm not having these pictures up to say, hey guys, just want to let you know, me right here, I'm the owner. It's not about that. The pictures that are up, it's pretty much modeling, and I chose to do the work to be a model at some point in time when I had some professional photo shoots and photography done years ago for our lash and brow services. Here I go. Instead of hiring a model, I decided to be the model and to do the photo shoots. And honestly, that wasn't something that I enjoyed doing. It's not fun for me to do photo shoots. It's work. But with that being said, I don't have pictures up of myself to showcase myself, because it's not about me. It's always about the clients. And so that's what I mean when I say that you are not your own boss. You have hopefully a lot of bosses. So you have to look at it in that way, that you don't work for yourself. You're working for the clients. And unfortunately, a lot of people did not really realize it. So as they have worked over time to build up clients, and things have happened and times have changed, then they're not really getting the traction that they used to. They may have gotten a lot of clients that they have possibly turned off by some things. And listen, I'm not here to say that you want to continue to work with every client that you have come across your threshold, because not every client is for you, and clients also do come and go as well. So I don't want anyone to feel like if you had a client or some clients that used to come in to your business and then for whatever reasons they're not coming anymore, that you did something wrong. Yes, we should always check our actions to make sure that there wasn't something that we did wrong, or just checking in with them, even if it's just to say, I hope you're doing well, just doing the follow-up and the follow-through, because people will remember that even if they do not reach back out to you immediately. Don't take it personal, because none of it is personal. It is all just business. But, and all of that being said about clients, in my business, I don't work with every client that comes in. I actually don't work with many clients myself. Being the owner, and I've been doing it as long as I have been doing it, the majority of the clients that are seen and serviced at my business are seen and serviced by my team. And I'm grateful for that, because I do have a great team. And clients that have been coming in for many years now. That goes to the service that we are providing and the care, not just the service in terms of us doing the skincare or the lashes or the brows that they are happy with, but also how we treat them. It is a form of relationship building, even though it's not personal. Like I said, this is business and it's never personal, but you always do want the clients and the customers to feel like, and it's not being fake, it's being genuinely feeling like you care about them, and it's not just about their money. So there have been times where I've had a client that I may have seen, and they had an issue going on, and some of their lashes were, shedding more than normal. And I said, hey, come in, I'll take care of you. And I'll charge them. I said, that's on us. Are you sure? Yeah. And I'm not saying some of them don't tip, or they may I just want to go ahead and pay you, because that happens also. But we even have people that pay over and above, because they appreciate us, they appreciate the service, they appreciate the business, and it's the bond and the relationship building that we have been able to do that has really helped to grow the business, So you have to understand that the giving, you will receive. Penny pinching with every single thing, because I've heard stories about, the last minute cancellation fees, the no-show fees, which we have those too, but we really charge people for those because we want people to come back, but you have some rules set in place for sure. But when you treat people right and you're not just penny pinching everything, I'm not a hairstylist, so I don't know all about that, but I have heard the stories of, for example, especially with, again, this isn't about ethnicity, but just speaking about some stories that I've heard about the experiences with African American stylists and African American salons, where they're being charged if the hair that they have naturally is a lot coarser than others. There's an upcharge. You're going to be charged for getting your hair shampooed, charged for getting your hair blow dried, charged for getting your hair flat ironed, charged for this, charged for that, charged for that, charged for that. And it's like, why not just create a system and have all of these different things in one set price or package? That way clients aren't looking like they're being nickel and dimed for everything. There's a way to handle some things. And for anyone who's interested, I don't really do it a whole lot, but you can reach out to me because I definitely have done business mentoring just based on my experience. But I don't want to go into all of that right now. But my email, it is in the description box, so you can check, that out and reach out to me if you would desire to do so. But I'm saying that to say, a lot of people are doing that because in my personal opinion, I don't believe they're making the right choices with the money that they're making and the income that they have coming in. You have to be smart about the money that you have coming in when it starts to come in. I didn't start out my business in a lot of debt and trying to have the place look like something that I really couldn't afford, because that's what a lot of people do. They may get into a lot of debt for the purposes of showing off, like almost similar to someone who may be a bride and they're getting married and they want to have this lavish wedding. You're spending more money on this show versus investing in your life, in your marriage. All of that money that you spent for this grand old party of the wedding and the reception, that could have gone towards, not just a down payment for some people on a home, but down payment plus maybe paying off the mortgage for several months. There's just, you have to just think differently about things when it comes to business and invest as you go. And that's one of the things that I did. So that's one of the reasons why I was able to have up to 4 locations at one point in time. Since at the time that we are now, I have since downsized to one great location, which all of the clients love, and it is amazing. But I'm not doing what I'm doing in terms of the aesthetics of the way things look in the business, which they look great. But I'm saying I'm not getting into a bunch of debt and things like that in the business to try to impress anybody. Also, I am not taking every dime that I have made in the business when I started out and just putting it on my body or, clothing and shoes and superficial things. You have to invest back into your business. So that's how you grow as you go. But a lot of people haven't made the right decisions with the money that they've had coming in. So no saving or anything like that. So when you have a situation, which it does happen, when you're going through the ebbs and tides, the ups and downs of business, where you're going to have some moments where it's feast or famine. You may be, or someone, I don't want to say you, but some people may be so used to the feasting times where they're just constantly busy. They're booked from morning until they're done. And then when it starts to get a little spacey on that schedule, and it's looking like, what in the world is going on? I haven't had a Thursday off and I can't tell you how long. And now I'm looking at my schedule and I only have, a few appointments this week. Like, what is going on? You have to always be marketing yourself and utilizing the money that you have had coming in to investing so that other people know about you. And then if some people were doing the right things with the money that was coming in, instead of trying to stack up their schedules, they would have been utilizing the skills and the talent and the time and money that they have into training other people and onboarding other people to build your team and grow as you go, so that it wouldn't get to a point where it's just you and now your schedule is thinned out, where it's like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Guess I'll start looking and seeing who's hiring on Indeed, because I can't really continue to do this anymore. So I'm not here to say that things don't happen in life that you may have to scale back, and you honestly may unfortunately go through situations in life where you have a loved one that has health issues, or you may even be going through some things, or someone who is in the industry and as an entrepreneur, they may be going through some things physically where they're not able to work as much as they used to, doing the things that they were doing as a beauty professional. So they've had to scale back, and so they're going to look into doing something at another company or in another field as a 9-to-5, so that they can supplement their income and they can just pay their bills. But what I will say to that is this: if it is you or someone that that's in that place, don't feel bad about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just see where you are now, focus on where you want to go, and make the plans and steps in order to get back there. Listen, there are some people, honestly, that may not want to be in the beauty industry anymore, and they've decided to cut back and go back to working a 9-to-5. But this article specifically was talking about those who did not want to do that. It wasn't a choice. It wasn't an option. It was something that they really didn't have an alternative to do because they had bills to pay. But also here's another thing. It also could just be a wake-up call for some people who may have taken their business and their clientele for granted, and it's just like a hard stop wake-up call to say, do you really have your heart in this? Is this what you really want to do? And if it is, you're going to have to do some things differently if you want to get back to being a full-time entrepreneur. And not just that, but of course, doing things differently so that you don't have to take that step backward, if you will, to do that ever again. But just using this as an example, again, not knocking anyone of any specific ethnicity, but I am African American, and I will say, and this is something that people have told me, so I'm not saying this to say, well, let me show you something, but the way I've always operated my business, I didn't operate my business like it was a Black-owned business. I'll be honest with you, I don't even really care for the title Black-owned business, because one, it puts you in a box. Two, I feel like it alienates other people that may want to come to your business. Now, I get it. If you are an African American woman and all you do is specialize in African American hairstyles, I get it. You're not going to be able to do a lace wig on someone who is, Asian or Caucasian or Hispanic. I understand that. But being in the industry that I'm in as a licensed esthetician, I work with people of all ethnicities. So we have clientele definitely that are African American. We have Caucasians, we have Hispanics, and we also do have Asian clients that come to the business. And I am really proud of that. I am grateful for that. I'm not in a place of like, I did that. No, I'm grateful for it because I knew that business is business. Money is cash, at least, is green. The credit cards, they come in all different colors. And I didn't want to alienate anyone, and I also did not want to put myself in a box of saying I only work with these types of people. And so again, another wake-up call for some people who may be African American. You may have to think about diversifying yourself so that you're not just beholden to working with only African American women. And that's just the truth of the matter. So if you are a licensed cosmetologist where you're primarily just working with African American women, where you're doing hair extensions. Do you know how many Caucasian women get hair extensions? So you may need to look into learning how to do hair extensions on Caucasian women. And if you have to do some things that are going to, how do I say this? If you may need to take some business courses and get some mentoring to learn how to operate with people of other ethnicities, because you just feel so comfortable operating around people that look just like you, sound just like you, live just like you, then you just have to kind of do what you have to do if you're really serious about being an entrepreneur in this industry. Because I will tell you, you put yourself in so much of a box when you do that. And I get it. There are people out there that are just working with African American women that are making crazy money, and that's fine if that's what they want to do and it's working for them. But that is not everyone's story. It's never been mine, and I don't, for myself, want it to be mine. So when I said this isn't something that I brag about or I talk about a lot, but I've had other people tell me, what I was going to say is I have had people who actually are African American that when they met me and learned that I was the owner of the business, they were shocked. And I literally had an African American woman of a certain age say this to me. This was some years ago. And she wasn't the only one that's done this. I've had several other people do it. And unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever, it's only been African American women that has said this to me. I've never had anyone else say it to me, and from anyone else it may come across as an insult, but they've said to me, I did not know someone who was African American owned this business. So it was almost like if it was owned by someone who was African American, they would have thought that it would have been ran unprofessionally, and so, I mean, I didn't know really what to say to that. It's like, what? Thank you? I mean, I don't really know. I didn't know how to respond to it, but I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I am who I am. But that's what I wanted to say to that. You just have to operate your business like a legitimate business. And if you don't really have the skills to know how to do that, get some help from someone who does so that they can assist you in that if you're really serious about it. So I just wanted to talk about that because when I saw the story, it bothered me a little bit, and I also did understand. But if you go on TikTok, there's lots of people that are complaining about more so African American hairstylists and how they operate and how they treat clients. And then there are also a lot of people who are African American in the beauty industry who are talking about how they have had to go and get jobs, working 9-to-5 jobs, and just doing what they were doing as a full-time entrepreneur part-time because they're just not making the money like that right now. Yes, the economy has been doing some crazy turbulent things, no doubt about that. But if you're operating like a business, then you will know that there are different things that you can do in order to keep going. Don't quit and don't give up. So guys, I really hope you got something from what I had to share. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Share this with someone that you know, like, and love. And I really appreciate you all being here. I am Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, and I share the Bible. That's business inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. And guys, like my shirt says, perfect is boring and unreal. So I'm not expecting anyone to be perfect or to operate in perfection, but we can perfect, meaning getting things better than what we were doing before in order to achieve the goals that we desire. So thank you guys so much for being here, liking and subscribing. I am Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, and I share the Bible. That's business inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So until the next time, I hope and pray you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.